Morning, lads. To all my viewers out there, it's a great pleasure since I'm here with a super new series regarding the invertebrates, actually the boneless animals. And this new series is going to take a lot more time since we have to deal with all the classified phyla. So today I'll be dealing with the episode 1 of this exciting series. And this episode 1 will look around the animals that actually rule the world, that technically rules the world. So here it goes. So imagine you are waking up tomorrow, right? It's morning right now, but if you are waking up tomorrow morning after today's night, and every animal without a backbone has disappeared. There will be no insects, no spiders, no octopus, no corals. Just like the animals that have been shown in this slide, like the freshwater sponge, the sea anemone, the earthworm that we generally see all around us, the flies, the crabs, the spiders, all of them, the centipede, all of them, if they disappear tomorrow morning when you wake up, so what will be your reaction? You might find out that at a particular period of time the world will seem, or the environment will be peaceful. But within a few days the nature would begin collapsing. So what will be the reason why nature will begin to collapse? If these creatures of these invertebrates, phyla, all of the animals, all of the insects gets disappeared tomorrow morning. So we'll learn that in the next few slides. And this is because these invertebrates that we neglect today are the true rulers technically. Without bones or any bony skeleton, they are actually the two rulers. So let's go one by one with all the slides, and I will be dealing with the first very question: what are actually invertebrates? If we see normally, invertebrates are those without a backbone or a bony skeleton. And surprisingly, 97 of all the animal species on earth is comprised with invertebrates. They actually inhabit the deep oceans to dry deserts. They are actually cosmopolitan. They'll be everywhere around the earth. And if about 97% of all the animal species on earth is invertebrates, that means the rest 3% are the vertebrates. The rest 3% are the fishes, are the amphibians, are the birds, are the mammals, are the reptiles, we humans too. So the question now arises, why do they make up 97% of the animal species? For that reason, let's look at some of the invertebrates right here. So these few pictures that I am taking are some specialized invertebrates. If you look at this camel spider, the first picture, the camel spider. So if you look at these legs, they are long enough, right? But and they look harmful to us, or they look harmful to humans, but actually they are harmless and a nocturnal predator. And by name it is camel spider, but it is not actually a spider. It is an arachnid order known as Solifidae. The amount of speed it has, it can move really fast. The movement of this particular arachnid order Solifidae is way too much. So they are often called as wind scorpion. or winged spider. The next picture is about the Atlantic horseshoe crab, and this particular animal, this particular creature is residing in this earth from over 450 million years. They are actually not a true crab but are arthropods. They are closely related to the spiders and the scorpions. I'm not being able to show you the actual structure right here perfectly, but actually they got 10 eyes around their whole body. Right. The next one, the third picture is about giant Antarctic sea spider. You see the legs. You see the legs of this spider. It's around 70 centimeter. And this spider, actually, this is from a species known as Colossendius. And surprisingly, they are good fathers. They do the parenting thing. The male of this species do the parenting thing really well, just like the seahorse. The next one is ammonites, and ammonites is a fossil. It's been there from Devonian to you can say the end of this Cretaceous period. It disappeared in the KT extinction period. You see the shape of that structure. It's a cell type of structure, a spirally coiled, and if you look at it, you'll find it's a heart type of cell, right? And these ammonites are actually highly regarded in the Chinese culture. What they do is they keep these ammonites in their home as a decoration or as a energy that will ward off all the negative energies all around the home or around the environment inside their home. And these ammonites are actually marine predators. They are closely related to our modern octopus. So these are the 4 animals, and next slide we'll be dealing with another one. This one is a bit more special. It's a vampire squid. You see, it's scary, right? The species goes with the name Vampiroteuthis infernalis. It got a scary sound, but even though if it is having a scary sound, but it is generally harmless. They are the living fossils, right? And they are deep sea creatures. You'll find these particular creatures at the bottom level of the sea, at a very deep level of the sea. Not the bottom, the very deep level of the sea, around 2,000 to 4,000 feet from the surface of the sea. Okay, so we've come across these 5 type of invertebrates creatures which are highly specialized, and these species actually they look like you can say the name that has been given to this particular species actually doesn't fit with their own type. They are different. Even though it is called as a camel spider, it is not actually a spider. It's a arachnid order. Even though it is called as a horseshoe crab, it's not a crab, right? So that's how it goes. So now look into the reasons about the question that I have asked before. How do they make 97% of the all animal species on earth? So there are the reasons. It's because of the evolutionary history. If you look at the evolutionary history of these particular invertebrates, they are there from the time at the beginning of the earth, at the beginning of all species. they are deer, right? And their body plan simplicity. They are not highly complex, so they can reproduce more. They have the reproductive advantages. They also got the opportunity in ecological way, like the environment that they live, they actually get all the things. They are not highly complex, they can reproduce perfectly, they can reproduce fast. So what can they do is like they just need few things to live on that, and they get those things pretty much easily. And these very factors makes the invertebrates numerous, diverse, and adaptable than all the vertebrates out there, the 3% vertebrates out there. That's why they make out the 97%. Right? So let's go to the next slide. So the next question is, even though they are 97%, of all the animal species on earth, but why are they overlooked? Right? Why are they overlooked than the vertebrates? So there are few reasons why are they overlooked. So if we go into the first reason, since I have noted here, we only notice animals like us, animals which are having faces, right? Animals which can actually connect with us, which are social, having the social behaviors. Specifically the vertebrates, like the elephant, the lion, the birds, the fishes, the bees. These are actually, you can say, as an insect. Okay, but there are other animals which falls on the vertebrate category, which having the social behaviors. So we can connect with them. We have that sympathy for them. If something happens, we raise our voice, we show sympathy. Like dog, there are way too much dog lovers out there, right? The cows, if you go to cattle and farming, we all are fond of these vertebrates, the 3%, but not the 97% out there. So this is the first reason. So the second reason is obviously the small size, and they live in a hidden world. Most of these invertebrates are actually very tiny of their size, and they live actually underground, under the water, and mostly they become active at night hours, just like the cockroaches. If you have come across, you will see the cockroaches roam all around your home or your neighboring environments at night hours when the lights are off and all. So because of this, because of the small size, and because they actually live on these very unnoticed environments, so people actually don't feel worried about these creatures. They are not that much highlighted. Now this is one of the next reasons: negligence of media. We all know, as we are biology enthusiasts, we all come across documentaries, we all come across wildlife shows, right? And those wildlife shows and documentaries, what they prioritize? They prioritize the vertebrates, the animals those are having facey behaviors, right? They're way too much facey, they're way too much social, they're big, and it's easy for them to show that thing. So all the problems, all the behaviors, all the things that we learn is learned from the vertebrates, but not the invertebrates. So the limelight of this media, of these documentaries and wildlife shows, all goes to the vertebrate side, the 3% side, not the 97% side. So this is one of the most of the cases we don't like insects. We got insect phobia. Many people, what they do, they saw insect, they kill them, or they freak out, right? The spiders, the mosquitoes, certain beetles, the cockroaches, all of these are viewed as a threat to human health or the agricultural sector, right? They make the crops go really bad. They are weeds, they are insects that can ruin the agricultural sector, agricultural farmlands, right? So these are few reasons why are they overlooked. But apart from them, apart from this thing that they are overlooked, they are also having some ecological roles. So they are also having some ecological roles. They are also contributing something to the environment. Just like I have already told at the starting of this episode, like they actually have something so that our environment, our ecology keeps on going. It doesn't collapse. And if you go to the ecological role, the first role is about the pollination thing. They are actually good pollinators and the primary pollinators on planet Earth. Whether they do is seed dispersal or the pollen dispersal between the plants, between the flowers, as you know how the pollination things happen, right? And by pollination, what they do, what the world and what the environment gain is like they can produce foods, they can produce food for other living organisms, right? They also by pollination, what they do is they allow all the plants on all the flowers to bloom, right? By which they provide oxygen to sustain the life on Earth. So this is really important. Pollination is really important, and the primary pollinators are the insects or are the invertebrates. So next one is like you see the sponges and the corals. What are they? And what they do? Actually, they are just like the natural aquarium. They gives a environment to all the creatures, all the sea creatures or all the ocean creatures to live, to thrive in there. They are not actually living animals. This is a misconception of all the peoples out there. But they provide the environment for other creatures, for the number of creatures to live and thrive in there. Another reason is about the decomposing thing, right? There are animals like earthworms, termites, beetles. What they do is they break down the dead organic matter and the waste, and they enrich the soil. So these earthworms and all are actually being called as the farmers' friends. They are called as farmer friends because they enrich the soil with nutrients. They also create the air pores and air spaces for the plant roots to move on, go deep into the soil. They can also control the pest, ladybugs and spiders. They necessarily control the crop, and they reduces the chemical pesticides by that. That's how they also support in the farming sector. But actually, apart from all this, they balances the food chain. And how they balances the food chain? Any insect or any invertebrates like the earthworm, the beetles or the termites, they become themselves food for the animals like birds or animals like other animals who are dependent on them. They become the foundation of the food chain of the animal kingdom. They become the primary consumers of the plant life. And they serve themselves to the birds, to the reptiles, to the other amphibians or mammals. And that's how they actually balances the nature, balances the food chain. So these were the ecological roles of invertebrates. And today I will end up in this portion itself. So this will be the end of this episode 1. In the upcoming sessions, in the upcoming episodes, we'll be dealing with all the phylum, all the classified phylum. I will deal one by one with all the classified phylum out there. So till then, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Actually giving me a time to recover and to come back with this exciting series, and I hope that you guys have liked it, you guys have enjoyed it, and more to come. Till then, take care. See ya. Bye bye.